Hello, Sibs. Doing the light dark again because I'm sitting sideways to the window. Today, I actually have a topic I want to talk about. I want to talk about my favorite video game, or at least one of my favorite video games, and that is Final Fantasy IX. So, many people have played Final Fantasy of one form or another, maybe Final Fantasy VII, that's the one everyone loves. Not as many have played Final Fantasy IX, which, in my opinion, and many other people's opinion, is a criminally underrated game. Final Fantasy IX, to me, is the single best Final Fantasy ever made, and it's maybe the best game ever made. So, I'll start with the elephant in the room of Final Fantasy. Many people don't like JRPGs because you have the random encounter system. You know, you're walking through whatever area and random enemies show up to fight you repeatedly. People don't like that. But you have to remember that the random encounter system was a way for them to extend the life of a game, or to extend how long you were playing the game. You know, sorry, the face detection keeps shrinking to my eyeball. It's creepy. You know, and let's talk about this for a minute. Final Fantasy IX has hours and hours of content ignoring the random encounters. If you take away the random encounters, you lose hours of playtime. And yes, I understand random encounters aren't really fun, but that's the point of a JRPG. It was a grinding game. Today, you get a single-player game and you get, what, 8, maybe 10 hours out of it? The story mode probably takes you 6, and then maybe another 6 to do bonus stuff. And then only a couple hardcore players will spend the 50 hours to get whatever special stuff there were. But Final Fantasy was different. It didn't include mindless things like, do this jumping minigame where you have to jump over things repeatedly to get whatever you want. Final Fantasy really did have secrets and things that were fun to find, or hunting down treasure, or Chocobo Hot and Cold, which is a great minigame in Final Fantasy IX. There's so much in Final Fantasy IX, and I know other Final Fantasy games are similar, but they're also not. There's just... Final Fantasy IX, to me, epitomizes what games should be. It should have an experience, and it should be something you want to do again. I think about Final Fantasy IX a lot. I just bought it again because they released it on the PC, and it's as good as it was when I was young. To me, Final Fantasy IX is maybe the game that made me a gamer. It really was everything. The story is fantastic, the characters are fantastic, the lore is fantastic. It's a shift back to the old days of Final Fantasy, the kind of steampunk feel. Though, you could say that Final Fantasy VII was similar, but Final Fantasy VII was really more futuristic-y. Final Fantasy IX was a return to the roots of the franchise, and it's got an art style completely distinct. It didn't try to be gritty or realistic. It was cartoony, it was a little fake, but the story is fantastic. The story pulls you in, and the story makes you want to continue. To everyone watching this, I highly recommend you try Final Fantasy IX. It's the best $20 you'll ever spend. In the new computer version, you can even activate boosters to disable random encounters, or to even make it where you're all level 99 right away. I highly recommend playing it. Even if you don't want the challenge of the game, or even if you don't really want to play the game, I recommend at least getting through the story, because it's one of the best written video game stories out there. It really is just a fantastic game, and I could talk about it for hours. So I'm going to stop here. I highly recommend trying Final Fantasy IX, or even just reading the plot of Final Fantasy IX if you really don't want to play. But that's all I've got today. Favorite video game, great topic for me, and I hope all of you have a nice evening.